It is now time for a check of weather with Nebraska Extension AG Climatologist and Market Journal's Chief Meteorologist Al Dutcher. Well, Al, it's been good weather for a farm show out here at Husker Harvest Days. Next week, I'm sure we'll see even more combines rolling across the fields. How are things looking when it comes to weather?
Well, Bryce, we've seen some fairly good weather for Husker Harvest Days. We had to dodge a few scatter showers around the region from the system that came through on Wednesday and induced some shower activity across southwest Nebraska. It eventually moved up to north central Nebraska, and then we've seen the reformation along that front through central and eastern Nebraska, and then we've seen repeat showers as we went through this last 24 hours. The biggest issue is going to be the big trough to the west and how that's going to impact our weather over the next 7-day period. So as we go to the upper model, here's that trough in the west. Energy's been ejecting out of this trough, and that's been responsible for some of this precipitation. Most of that energy should stay to the north of the state, but we will be consistently cooler than we have been during the early part of the week, looking at low to mid 80s across the northwest half of the state, and we're probably in the mid to possibly upper 80s across the southeast part of the state. As we go into the day on Sunday, that trough digs down the west coast. We start to see this ridge moving back toward the north, so a little bit warmer conditions in southeastern and south central Nebraska, but we'll still remain in the low to mid 80s across the northwest part of the state. A little bit more cloud cover. Doesn't look like we're going to deal with much in the way of significant moisture. Now, as we get in the day on Monday, this ridge starts to build toward the north as this trough digs even farther down the coast in California. So we're going to bring 90s back into the southern third of the state, mid to upper 80s across the northern part of the state under dry conditions. As we get into Tuesday, this ridge fully expands its farthest northern extent, probably as we get into the afternoon hours. Maybe a little bit of activity moving across the northern part of the state, but it doesn't look like it's going to be able to overcome the dry air at the surface. Now, as we get into the day on Wednesday, we start to see this ridge moving toward the southeast as this upper trough itself starts to move north or toward the east, and we'll see the first piece of energy eject out of it, bringing a cold front at the surface through the state. We're looking at highs that will probably be in the 70s across the northwestern 1/3 of the state. Southeastern part of the state probably looking more in the upper 80s to low 90s. And as we go into the day on Thursday, this trough moves up into the northern Rockies and then will progress eastward. Pretty decent channel of moisture develops for the monsoonal flow ahead of this front. So from southwest to northeast Nebraska, fingers crossed, it looks like we may actually see better than a ½ an inch of moisture. And on the day on Friday, this trough moves over to eastern Montana. Very strong energy on the front side of this trough. We may see some good overrunning precipitation work its way across the state during the day. As we go even farther into the future, and this takes us from next Thursday to the following Tuesday, CPC is indicating above normal temperatures. A lot will depend on this trough. If it moves quicker, yes, this is going to verify. If it moves slower, we're going to be cooler than normal. In terms of precipitation, the basically counting on this trough moving rapidly toward the east. If it slows down, we'll see much more significant moisture.